All right, they ready, Mr. Hall?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the special edition of the Heavener Public Schools Wolves Update. We're going to go over a little bit of a calendar change. We did kind of introduce that to you last Thursday. Talking about where we would be if our county remained in the orange color, and in particular how that translates and how that coincides with Heavener Public Schools and even our zip code that we're currently in. And so anyway, we introduced last week that we were going to take a hard look at how we're going to start school. And so we are going to start Thursday and Friday. Then we're going to come back Monday and Tuesday, which is August the 24th and 25th. And then that 26, 27, 28, we're going to do our distance learning plan. Now that's for the kids that are in traditional setting. Virtual students will already be there. That's just your blended and traditional setting that this will apply to. And so we're going to do that. We're going to follow that for 3 weeks. All right. That'll give us time to reassess. It'll give us time to check the state health department's county by county color code system, and then we can make adjustments in our calendar, depending on if we remain orange or if we was to, heaven forbid, escalate, to a red or, but hopefully we're going to see a downtick and get back into yellow, and then we may progressively add, some days past that 3-week period. So anyway, we just got to make sure that everybody's on the same page, that our community and students, families know that we are going to start Thursday and Friday. Okay, Thursday, Friday. That's going to be a lot. These building site administrators are going to be telling you a little bit about what's coming up on those days. And then we are going to come back on August 24th, 25th. We're going to have those 2 days in session. And then we're going to revert and start our distance learning Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we're going to do that for 3 weeks now. 3 weeks, okay? I know that, so you got to check your connectivity. You got to check your daycare. That's why we're trying to get this that's why we introduced it last week, because we've seen that excuse me, that county colors in the chart was, had changed colors, and so we're trying to get that information out. Also, we want everyone to know that you will have to have a mask. Okay, if you're a bus rider, masks are required. If you're a student and you're in the halls, you're going to have a mask. If you're a student and you're in the cafeteria line, you're going to have a mask. If you're a student and you're in transition out of the classroom, you're going to have a mask. If you're a student in areas such as the library or places like that, they're going to want you to wear a mask in transition, things like that. It's highly, highly, highly recommended, okay, once you're in the classroom, to continue to wear the mask, but at that point, once you're in the classroom, it's not required. The requirement is for transportation and transition in hallways, cafeteria lines, PE, transition, things like that, okay? We are going to introduce a new hashtag. It's called hashtag MaskUpWolves. That's going to be our mantra as we kick off this year. Hashtag MaskUpWolves. Get your masks, get them on. All right. I didn't get a chance to thank Mr. Hall, Craig Hall of the Heavener Ledger. We want to thank you again for hosting this at such short notice. It was short notice, but we needed to put together. We're going to have all this information. We're going to put it out on our Facebook page as well. I think Craig will put it out on the Heavener Ledger Facebook page. We'll get that 3-week calendar set up. There's going to be questions about food. Are we going to feed on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Yes, there'll be food. We're going to try to set it up to where we're going to get all that breakfast and lunch out for those 3 days on Wednesday. Okay, that's kind of the game plan. We do know that it's going to evolve and it's going to be something that's fluid. We're going to make adjustments as needed. There will be a schedule that I think Mr. Craig and him's already worked on the transportation. Now that's not getting kids to school. That's just delivering the lunches on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of those 3 weeks. Okay. All right, Mrs. Cox, do you have anything you want to start with and share?
I do. I have a little bit. I just want the parents to understand that that first day of school, that the lower grade teachers will send a note home. And it will specifically tell them the days that kids are to come to school, are those days that we're going to be doing virtual, because I know our little guys gets a little bit confused. So we'll be sure we have a really detailed note to give that information out. And also, the cafeteria staff has a note that we're going to send home so that they can get a count on how many meals they need prepared at the cafeteria, and if they ride a bus, what bus number and how many they need to put on that bus. So
Well,
we're going to do that.
That's really good. And I think, Janie, was you going to also do like an online version of that maybe? Is that correct? Did we talk about that this morning?
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. All right, that'll be great. Yeah.
Okay. And then for our students that are doing total virtual or true virtual students, in the lower grades, there will be a few packets to pick up, and we're going to have that organized there so that make it as convenient as possible for the parents, because they are supposed to call and make a schedule, get an appointment time to come to the building. And so we're going to have it where that the parents can just come in the front door there, pick up the packet, and leave the week's previous packet on tables right there at the front door. So, and Mr. Ross, I'm sure you might want to use those tables for the junior high as well.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll fix it up, and it will be by grade level, so it'll be easy for the parents to find what they need. And of course, we'll be there at the office if they need help.
Right.
And I just jotted down a few things real quick. The last thing I really want to stress is that when they bring their children to school, to please remain in the car and just let the children out of the vehicles. Now, if they haven't turned in their enrollment packet yet, and they want to do that, if they'll just pull in and let the people out there helping with all this traffic know that they need an enrollment packet, we'll have it all laying out there on the sidewalk on a table, and we'll bring them an enrollment packet there to their car so they don't have to get out.
Right, okay. And then one thing that we want to stress is that, if you're sending your child to school, we do have that check sheet for all students, okay? It's a check sheet, it's a health monitoring check sheet is what it is. I think y'all will all be sending some home quite possibly the first day, but it's also in a printable document that they can print off the website. But what we need to know is that, if you're answering, if you answer yes to any of those questions on there, then you don't need to send your kid, your student to school, okay? Those all have to be no's with, appropriate temperature, 100 degrees or under 100 degrees, okay? We want to make sure that all of our community and patrons also understand that. Also, if you have been tested, please do not come to school until you know the results of the test, okay? That's for anybody. That's for parents, students, employees, anybody, visitors, whatever. If you have been tested, again, repeat, please do not come to the school, okay, until you know those verifiable results, okay? All right, just want to throw that in.
And on the temperature check sheet that the parents are asked to do, they need to be sure and call the office if they answered yes to any of those, or if their child has a temperature. They need to call the office and let us know that is why they're not at school.
Yes, please do that, and that's important, parents and guardians and patrons out there, and I'm going to tell you why it's important, because there is a special attendance code for the COVID, okay, and so that's very, very important, okay. All right, anything else? All right, hey, we're yes, sir.
Got one question real quick. What about students that are walking to school? Can parents just drop them off at the cafeteria door?
Yes.
7:30, correct?
Yes, 7:30.
Yes, 7:30, yes, sir.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, Janie.
Well,
Federal money. Talk to us a little bit about money. Hotspots.
we don't have the hot spots in yet.
Right.
We should be getting them any day, and we'll get them out as quick as we can to those individuals that qualify for one.
Right.
And still waiting on a few computers. They've all been ordered, so hopefully we'll get it all in really, really soon. So that's about all. I'm just working on budgets and excited that we're going to get all these computers and hotspots for our students.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Robert, high school, Mr. Craig, Bob Craig, high school principal.
I can't wait to see everyone, but when I see you, I hope you have a mask on. And if you have a spare, put it in your purse, in your backpack, your locker or something. Always have a spare just in case you forget one.
Good advice.
And first hour, we are all going to our first hour class, and you'll be issued your Chromebook then. Second hour, you'll go to your advisors, and you'll be given the rules and watch a little video over the high school and introduce you, a lot of you, to the high school for your first time. And we got a little survey we want to give you to see if we're going to pass out the meals on the buses with you. And we need to know who wants the meals and who doesn't, so we don't have an abundance of meals not being used.
Right on. And let me just, speak to the high school, our older kiddos. We just want to encourage you, you know what I'm saying, to don't be reluctant to wear the mask, be positive about that, because a lot of our younger kiddos, our younger generation, our little ones, they look up to you guys. And when they see that you're doing it and wearing the mask and following the appropriate procedures, guess what? That's going to help them. That's going to give them, the security and the confidence and knowing that it's something that's very, very important, you know what I'm saying, and how we turn the tide on this thing. And so anyway, just remember, #MaskUpWolves. Mr. Rawls.
Okay, going on what Ms. Harrell's talking about a while ago about hot spots and everything, by next Wednesday, we will have a list of all the hot spots in town and everything that you'll be able to go to. I know we had people asking which churches and everything else. And, I think it's, we talked about that in a teacher's meeting this morning. Just let everybody know where they can go. So hopefully we'll have that by next next Wednesday before we go to the DL. Also, remind you, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, we'll be doing our workshop for virtual students' parents. Parents, we ask that it's parents only. We do not need the students up here with you. And we can go over and show you the things you need to know about the virtual learning. And you can pick up your computers at that time. If you cannot make the meeting and you need to still pick up the computer, I think we said tomorrow afternoon or the next day, you can come by and pick the computers up.
At the main elementary.
At the main elementary, okay? And also, like I said, we will, for the first few days, we'll have packets over at the elementary to pick up for the virtual students so they can get things going, okay? That's all we got right now.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rawls. All right, Athletic Director Jim Rose.
Okay, we know that since we're going to go to this 2-3 for the next 3 weeks, we've already had questions on what our athletes going to do during virtual, and at the time we were going to come up during that athletic hour. Now we're aware that some kids, a lot of student athletes might not have a ride. So we're going to have a coaches meeting tomorrow morning, and your coaches Friday and Saturday, or next Monday and Tuesday, they might want to bring the kids in a couple evenings, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock when parents are home. At this time we don't know, and there won't be any penalty for kids not showing up if you don't have a ride. We understand that, but we want to try to keep this as transparent as possible, and keep them doing something. Our student athletes are dying to get in the gym. They're dying to run cross country, football. So we will keep you updated, and we'll have all the coaches at the end of this week send something home with the students on practice times. The second thing, we got our softball going on right now. We have football coming up this Friday. I thought I'd go ahead and let you know ahead of time. We want to try to keep the dispensary of money changing hands as much as we can. So junior high softball, currently, we have a $2 or $1 charge to get in the games. It's 3 and 2 for high school softball, and it's $5 and $3 for football. We're asking, if possible, if you can bring the correct change to the ball games. If that's possible. If not, that's fine also. Also, if you're interested in a season football pass, we will start on those probably at the end of this week or next week. Just give me a call, or let one of our building principals know, and we'll get you a season pass if you're interested. And let's see what else. I think there's one more thing. Oh yes, Friday night game. We're still having a scrimmage against Hartshorn here at this time. I don't know what time. I believe it's around 7. We were going to confirm that today. And as normal, past 2 or 3, 4 years, we've had a food drive, and we're asking anybody and everybody that comes to the game, just bring a canned good. and we'll pass it all along to our churches where they can give it to the people who need it.
Ed, I had one question. Will high school JOM students get their school supplies on the first day still?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I forgot to address that. We are currently giving out JOM supplies for students K through 8 here at the Scott Center during regular office hours. Now, this is for students who are signed up on our JOM that have CDIB cards. So you can come here to the Scott Center to pick those supplies up. Our high school students will receive their supplies when they come the first day of school. And if you have a CDIB and you are doing school virtually, just call us at 653-7223 and ask for Kate McGee, and she will help you. She is our JOM coordinator.
All right. Also, just know that if you come up, be sure to call, you know what I'm saying? Call ahead of time, make an appointment, make sure that the instructors, here, they're available, or site principals are available. And we are going to ask that all visitors that are in the hall, because we have a in the hall mask requirement. We have a transition mask requirement. So all of our visitors, please, please, if you're coming into the building, you've made that appointment, be sure to have that mask, okay? Because we are going to really take a hard look at the mask and wearing the mask and making sure that we're doing those things. So I think that we've covered a lot of information, maybe in a brief amount of time, but we just want to make sure that we're getting that information out there. We're trying to do various layers, on the safety part of it. We're fixing to do a demonstration here in just a second of a temperature scanning kiosk. Also it's got a mask recognition on the kiosk. And so remember, this is in the entryway. This is going to be stationed in the halls. So we're trying to aid that. But, this is going to be one of the devices, one of the various layers, that's going to be like your hand sanitizer, your mask, your temperature scanning devices, all these things are different layers. The various filter devices that all different organizations and agencies and classes have spent money on, these different class fund, raisers in the past and stuff. They've utilized some of their dollars to make sure that they have those HEPA filters and what's the other ones y'all got? Was it just HEPA? Yeah, those room
Air
air purifiers. Thank you. Yes, those air purifiers. Another different layer that we're just working on. Of trying to be conscientious about what we do. Washing hands. You need parents, guardians, talk about it. Washing hands. All right. Sneezing into the elbow. All right. Keeping your hands off your eyes, your nose, your face, your ears. That's all important. Okay. It's important. These are important things that we need to be talking about. We need to be utilizing. We need to be putting in practice. And we can't stress enough, being able to hashtag mask up wolves. Got a question?
Yes, but as of right now, the students are not required to wear masks in the classrooms. Is that correct?
No, it's just a recommendation in the classroom. But we do have transition zones, hallways, anywhere transition lines when we're standing in line at the cafeteria, restroom breaks, and that's another thing. Don't not forget that our day is longer now, okay? Our day is longer because we had to add 3 minutes to each, especially our junior high, 6th grade and up, or is it 5th grade and up? 6th grade and up through 12th grade, they change classes intermittently through each hour. And so now that's 8 minutes in between class because we're trying to get those kids to where, and our masses to where we're just not, we're not all together. Now we realize, school, classrooms were not built for social distancing. We understand that. But we're trying to do all the other things. And I'm just telling you, if your student wants to wear a mask in the classroom, by all means, wear a mask in the classroom. Okay? Yes, sir.
No,
Is that it? Okay. All right. So, we've talked about when we're starting this Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday. We've got our 3-week schedule out. Which that third week, if I'm not mistaken, that third week is going to be, actually we're out that Monday, right?
Yes.
On the 7th, so it'll be Tuesday in session, face to face, and then we'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think that's September the 8th, is that Tuesday? Then we'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll be on the DL. But by then, we will have already, taken a hard look at what that data looks like, what the trend's going, and then regroup, okay? We may be going the next week, we may be in session, 3, 5, 4 days. We don't, but we'll know before then, okay? Just make sure that you understand it's a 3 days, okay? I heard somebody talk about the Wi-Fi zones. Very good, okay? Wi-Fi zones, we're trying to implement that. We're going to have some signs made up, okay? And I seen another district did this, and it was really neat. And it's just, and we're going to call it the Wolves Wi-Fi zone, and we're going to stake them like out here, this current building at the Scott Center. You can come, you can get that information here, over at the high school, over at the elementary. Those parking lot areas, you can drive up after hours to get your connectivity. Plus the churches that we talked about, again, our local public library here in town, they've beefed up their Wi-Fi capabilities so students can walk or get to their parking lot as well and try to. And then also, if you qualify, based on the grant requirements that we have, we're going to have those hotspots that will be available for students as well. So we just want to make sure that everybody is getting that information, and we're going to get it out. And we're going to put it on our Facebook page, and then also our website. All right. Any questions?
Mr.
Comments?
President, I thought of something here. We do have parent conferences scheduled for September the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And so the teachers will be doing that by phone conferences
virtually.
and Google Meet,
Yep.
virtual.
Okay, we'll get the word out on that. Now, how can we do this, Mr. Hall? How can we do I need to pull this out maybe a little bit?
Yeah, if we could pull this out just a little bit, and I can bring the camera over a little bit.
All right. All right, can they get a shot of that? Right here?
Should be able to.
Yeah. You got it? Okay. All right. We want to introduce you. Now, let me tell you something. This is something that we're getting them set up. We've got, it's got a base, it's got a, pedestal, and then here's the device. And let's see here. Come by here, Mr. Roll, please.
Yes,
All right.
I will.
And this is that technology. It may take you just a second. Yes, sir.
Please wear a mask. Please wear a mask.
Yeah. See, that was the
See, it works
component.
for me,
That's
see?
the component that it said that it was able to view.
It also got his
Yeah.
body temperature
Yeah. It'll
too.
give you.
Normal body temperature. Normal body temperature.
Notice that it recognized that I had a mask on, and it also was able to tell that my body temperature was normal. And so this is just another tool in the tool belt of safety protection that we're trying to utilize. Okay, and so again, that goes with the hand sanitizer, the mask, and the mask as we transition to and from transportation, buses, things like that. It's also it's just another layer of protection. That's what we're trying to get, and so we're trying to get these set up. Some of them are portable. We're just looking. If you're a business out there, if you're in the community patron or something like that, just feel free to make a donation if you want to help us with these, because these were pretty expensive. And so, but they're well worth it. And so. But we'll certainly take any donations that anybody wants
Now,
to.
Ed, how many of those did you wind up getting?
7 of them. We've got 7 of them, and so we're trying to get them in our sites, and then we wanted to have a couple of, because the thing about it is it does have some portability to it, and then, if we're fortunate enough that we get to continue with, say, like athletics in the gymnasium or football. As long as the weather's appropriate, and you can't take them out in the rain, of course, or anything. But we are planning on implementing and utilizing these, at some of our sporting events. And so, but again, it's just another layer. It's not Big Brother watching you or anything like that. It's just another layer of protection, and we're excited about it. We think that it's going to be something that's.
And you said you can do up to 30 a minute. Is that correct?
That's what the demonstration was. Is that you can walk 30, 30 by, 30 per minute. Now, one thing that, we're going to learn, okay? We're going to learn. You know, we don't know if we're gonna have to tilt it for our younger ones or something like that. You know, we may, we gotta see how it's gonna work over here with our little kiddos, you know what I'm saying, because they're not as tall and stuff. But anyway, these are, you know, it's just something that we're excited about. You know, we want to introduce our community to it. If you see it, you know, you're going to walk past it. If you know, if you've called and you've made an appointment to come up to, you know, to see one of the various sites, guess what? You're going to walk by it. You know what I'm saying? Because and it's gonna either tell you to put a mask on.
But you have to actually be looking into it. You can't just walk past it with it.
That's correct. Yeah.
Normal body temperature. Normal body temperature.
And see, it's got a little circle. I don't know if they can see that, Craig, or not, but it's got like a little circle right here.
Normal body temperature. Normal body temperature.
And so that's the neat thing about it, you know. And so, but anyway, but you will walk past it as well. And of course, you know, it may tell you, it may recognize that you don't have a mask or, you know, something of that nature, but it will definitely give you an indication on your temperature and stuff. So anyway, but we're just excited about it. You know, this is something that, you know, kind of a good thing to end on. We wanted to show this, but on the flip side, though, we want to make sure that everybody understands what the next 3 week schedule is going to look like when it comes to the academic calendar, okay? Of course, your coaches will be in contact with you about your extracurriculars.
Got one question. Are high school students still entering through different doors according to grade?
What did y'all decide on that? Can you get them through?
If something like that, we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, and we may have 2 of these for the high school. Is that
Yeah, I
correct?
think you had,
Yeah.
we'll just enter through
Yeah.
the commons area and the front door.
Yes, and that, now specifically, is it like grades 9 and 10 by the commons and
Yes.
grades 11 and 12?
12 through the
Yeah,
front.
we may, there may be, I'm not for sure, but I think we did get 2 for the high school for that various reason right there, so we'll see. But plan on right now, grades 9 and 10, you're entering by the commons area, that door right there, and grades 11 and 12, and all other visitors or whatever will be entering the main entrance. Yeah. All right, anything else?
No,
More?
that was it.
All right. Well, hey, be sure to get this out there. If you see this, you know, if you got questions, call your site administrators, your buildings, anything, you know, holler at me, whatever. We'll try to get those questions answered. And also, please share this video, okay? Share it out there with all of our community patrons, because we certainly want to get this information out there. And be looking at the website and be looking at our Facebook, our Heavener Public Schools Facebook page. And we're going to get this information on there as well. Craig, we want to thank you again and the Heavener Ledger for always being here to support us and help us get that information out. Especially during these trying times, we know it's just something, you know what I'm saying, it's just different, you know what I'm saying, but we want to leave you with that. Hashtag Mask Up Wolves, all right? And just know that, you know, we're here, we're going to get it going. We don't know what trials, you know, we don't know what hurdles may lie, but we're going to work through it, and we're going to work through it together. Any closing words? Anybody? All right. Thank you, sir.